Well, hello, Kingston. Welcome back to the Napoleonic battlefield. Today we have another replay of Almonacid. This one is a little different than the last one I posted, which is actually more historical, but it had 3 coalition armies versus 4 French, and that was a French victory. Today we have a 4v4, so Spanish are able to bring 4 armies as well. One of those being a 7-point Portuguese, the Beresford, and then of course you have Vengas, Suesta, and now I'm going to try to say that one, but it's a 7-pointer. They are going up against 4 French factions, like I mentioned. It's going to be Joseph, which is a 7-pointer, Saint Cyr, 9-pointer, Sebastiani, which is another 7-pointer, and Victor, which is a 10-pointer. So France bringing, obviously, equal points to the, well, maybe equal points to the coalition. Now, of course, the way that France starts, they have units right up close, and Spain only has 2 up close, which already, this 9-point France is pushing back, which this replay was sent in by Fran CC. So thank you for that. Looks to be a very epic battle. I mean, last one was awesome, and it was just, 4v4. So I'm excited to see what the French and Spanish and Portuguese do today. As you see, there is a lot of troops along this far flank here. Line infantry, cavalry. Let's see, what are they bringing? Yeah, just a lot of line infantry here. And they are rolling over this direction. This hill was so hotly contested in the last fight. We may have some cav inching up here. France may have to watch out, although France looks like they're prepared with some line infantry to volley that French or Spanish cav if they get too close. And instead, these C8s are going to get themselves out of there as Dragoons are charging in. Dragoons going to be much slower, so those C8s are going to get away. Over on this side, Spain looks like they're rolling over toward the town of Almonacid. Of course, we have the fortress of oh, someone just told me, but there's a fortress that overlooks the area, of course. We do have Spain getting pushed. Their general actually rushing to get out of there. Of course, this cav getting charged by his Dragoons. Probably trying to get rid of his gen. He doesn't infantry that can form squares, so he's going to get himself out of there. Losing some light cav, which was meant mainly for scouting, so, not the worst thing in the world. The Portuguese and Spanish are very close. They're able to defend this left side here. These LOCs are going to be very difficult for the French to take, and I don't know if he's going to hold this LOC here. Like I said, they're going to roll in all along here. As France is going to be rolling up this road, they're probably going to, looks like they have some skirmishers in this orchard. Very good place. These guys can see pretty far, so very good for scouting. I have light cav defending them. And they could probably really hurt any French cav that push up. As we have more Dragoons. I love the Spanish uniforms here of the French, like the Spanish campaign cav. Their helmets are covered, it looks like, with cloth, maybe not to let them shine as much, catch the glint of sun. Because you see, some of them aren't, and some of them are. So that's what they look like, uncovered, and then, covered up. I feel like I would want to cover up my helmet so I don't get the glint of sun. Plus, you make it all nice and shiny for when you have parades, Looks like the French may actually take over some of the tents of the Spanish who were sleeping here. And be like, oh shoot, I left my cigarettes in there. But if Spain is going to put their artillery up on the high ground. Beautiful position, by the way. I mean, if they put the artillery up here, could you imagine? I would love to see some of the artillery sitting up on this hill. I mean, this is just a potent... What a beautiful view. Get your general up here. You can see for miles around here. And actually, we have skirmishers that were shooting at some of the Spanish
must rest a while.
Troops. You can see on the left, the French are pushing along the flank, which is causing the Portuguese to push up. But, I mean, the Portuguese are going to have to protect that flank, as Spain is going to be outflanked if they don't get, support on that side. Regular line volleys are pushed out. This is kind of a cool position. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying this. You can see so far on every direction. I don't know why. This is so immersive. Oh, we're starting to see some of the French showing up. Here, I mean, this is easy. I'm going to cheese out here. Oh, my goodness. A lot of infantry also showing up for the French. We have cav getting ready behind that line. You see the regular volleys by this LOC here that's not been taken yet, but the volleys being exchanged. Skirmishers in the front lines here. We may have some cavalry getting ready to clash. Oh, some Portuguese cav charging in, getting some skirmishers. Hit a lot of French troops with some of their cav. Of course, France is going to charge up here and try to break them. And also more Portuguese and Spanish cav pushing up. Oh, we also have some charging through a gap in the lines, going for those skirmishers with some of their possibly more heavy cav. Those skirms are probably going to die here. France is getting hit hard. They did lose some. They did break some of the Portuguese cav. Spain is now going to have to countercharge the save from these hussars, charging directly in on this line here. Portuguese have taken this wall, this orchard. We do see some skirmishers and cav on this side. Not a lot for France yet, but there they are, coming out of the woodwork, as it were. These skirmishers can see quite a bit, in a beautiful position for scouting. So now the French are gonna be almost getting counterattacked here. They are definitely not. They're at equal odds here with the Spanish. They did take an LOC over here in the town. That's very wise of them. Taking that, they have cav on this side for scouting. Portuguese line infantry did push up here. Maybe some light infantry to help with the Spanish defense. The real fight, guys, is heating up over here, where if you look, I go back to my general's perch, as I call it. Now, you can see the infantry for the Portuguese. They have a whole line of it stretching way over here. Cavalry pushing up on the back. Artillery setting up for Spain. Stakes have been slapped down here. Skirmishers in the front lines. Oh, we have a cav charge here. Spain going for some skirmishers and possibly breaking them. Yep, they did. So breaking more and more of the skirmishers. France is not really able to defend it. And now, of course, Spain's skirmishers are not being defended now. They're probably hidden, though. No, they're not hidden. There's something dangerous about charging down skirmishers that are ready for you. They will destroy your line. Artillery in a beautiful position here. France is going to have their work cut out for them. That is for sure. Look at this artillery position. Oh my goodness, I love a good position. They have stakes way up in front, not to... You can't put your stakes right in front of your guns. It would actually stop your artillery from actually being able to fire. The cannonballs get caught up. So this position is perfect. Look at this. You have stakes way in the front, artillery up on the hill. I love it. Oh my gosh, this is the best position I have seen the Spanish be in this map so far. They have their flanks secure. They haven't lost tons. France has artillery set up, but it's not gonna, honestly, they should put up their artillery way back here. I mean, France is a good position right here. They have a good slope, but I mean, you can't beat this position. And you see Spain's actually getting more of their artillery 8-pounders set up. They have 12-pounders and 8-pounders set up on this hill. You can't beat that. More artillery setting up right here, 4-pounder. They have, of course, not taken this grove. Spain has, or France has, and this cav, these dragoons are getting shot to pieces. They may actually break. You can see they got slaughtered in this road, and they're going to get themselves out of it, thankfully. Some more infantry are going to push up. They got to defend this flank. Spain actually may have a problem here as France pushes up. They don't got a lot of infantry focused on this side, which is why they're actually shifting over more troops. As France may not be actually pushing up. They may be consolidating in this one little area. They may actually also have a flank here. France pushing up with their line infantry. Oh, look at that. You just can forget how beautiful a game that is, like, what, almost 20 years old can be. Portuguese are going to form up to meet them. Cav support some of their line infantry. Do they have any lights? Not this line. So France is not getting any edges here yet. We have some beautiful reserve lines. We have the Portuguese sitting over here by this wall. If France pushes them, they can push up and use the wall to kind of defend and take fewer losses. We have sappers and possibly some yeah, we have some elites ready to go in for probably melee if they get a charge from France. This battle is heating up along the entire board here, guys. I mean, we got some cav possibly getting charged here. In fact, maybe some friendly artillery fire lot of these skirms may actually be getting shot or charged. I would keep going as France. But honestly, from this fortress, you have almost the entire battle. Like, you can see all the way to here. You can see basically the brow of the hill. You can see the Portuguese pushing up. If I was a general, this is where I would be. Probably. Because you can look all the way. You can watch your right flank here. You can see if there's troops marching down this road. Mooching down the road. I am really not speaking well today. It's probably going to get worse as time goes, so bear with me. We got some 6-pounders that actually, it looks like the Portuguese were going on the offensive, but possibly they're going to fall back. I think they caused the French to reconsolidate. So basically a fake attack, as it were, oh, they're getting chewed up by artillery. To make the French kind of consolidate, maybe they can then swing around and buckle that flank. Spain is holding the center, and France doesn't seem too interested in charging this position. In fact, you can notice they have not even taken this LOC yet. Possibly because that'll start killing your men really fast. You don't want that. Oh, we may have some cavalry pushing up. Possibly because they were just pushing up in case the Spanish tried pushing up. Look at this ginormous unit of Spanish. Massive unit. Already taking some losses here. Ooh. Sorry, dude. Sacrifices must be made. Spain, it looks like they may be actually pushing up in this area, counterattacking. I said they have reserves. I love, this is a beautiful play here. Yeah, nothing's still over here. In fact, I'm surprised that Spain's not trying to push out their cav and try to scour. Ooh. So we got artillery and line infantry pushing up here. You can hear them. So Spain may have to refocus some of these reserves because Almonacid maybe. Oh, hold that thought. Some cav charged up here, possibly trying to go for those guns, which they did break them. Spain lost their artillery piece. Or France, sorry, lost the artillery piece. We may also have some infantry pushing up. Yep. Oh, they took the LOC. France took this LOC, although they maybe look like they're taking losses as they're trying to pour into it. They were gutsy enough to push up and try to use LOC to get some leverage on this flank here. And it actually may start paying off. These guys gonna start taking some losses here. And I think they're gonna try to shell this LOC instead. So the first loss here, LOC taken. We have Cav possibly still charging back and forth. The Grove being hotly contested now as France starts attacking the town here. Portuguese do have some infantry in reserve. What infantry do they have here? Looks like, yeah, light infantry mostly. Good in shooting, not good in melee as much. Mostly cav here, but I'm assuming that they're going to shift reinforcements over to defend the side because France is making actually a pretty impressive attack. If you look for my general's perch. No, I was kidding. Yeah, definitely the Portuguese. Yeah, they're falling back. This artillery is probably really painful for them. I don't know where the coalition should be attacking here, but they need to probably put pressure somewhere. Although they do seem to be possibly winning this volley fire, this fight. They are definitely winning. They have heavier troops, and they have some really good shooting. We have some cav that charged in once more. Once more trying to drive back the French in this corner. Definitely seem to be putting some hot fire on this on this LOC. France is pushing up, and Spain needs to be being very more vigilant here. They could lose this flank. Thankfully, Portugal is pushing up their line infantry, which if they can hold right here, they maybe could stop that line from falling back. We have some cav pushing up as well. At this point, definitely France has pushed out Spain. Spain is falling back here, taking some losses possibly. I want to see if that cav's going to do something here. They charge right in against France. France unable to form squares, so these Dragoons actually may be driving back some of the French, and also going for the guns, hitting them with 2 attacks at once. And there's no cav to defend this artillery piece. So France is going to lose that artillery piece and possibly be stopped here. Some skirmishers definitely could fall back a little bit and let some of this line infantry push up. It looks like the Portuguese outnumber the French, but France is advancing in one long line here, ready to meet the Portuguese, who are waiting in one long line as well. Although the Portuguese, like I said, have more numbers and more of an angle with this orchard. And Spain has bent, but they have not broken. They have kind of shifted around, and actually this may turn into a shooting range if France tries pushing up through this LOC. We do have some possible wavering here from Spain. I don't see a lot of reserves. What am I hearing? I hear charging, but I don't know where it is happening. All right, so the Portuguese have pushed up their light infantry. Spain is actually, the French have pushed back. Now they are pushing up on this side. We got even, looks like some dragoons possibly. Yes, some dragoons pushing up here. Oh, look at these guys. Gosh, this mod is so beautiful. Yeah, this cav definitely probably is going to be needed on that side. We do have some Spanish cav that did push up here trying to go for the French guns. Getting countercharged by some dragoons of France. So it's heavies versus dragoons.
Our men are running first.
We do have some Spanish breaking in the center here. This line is wavering. France is definitely doing well here, but looks like Spain is going to start trying to push up, maybe getting very aggressive here. This could be a huge payoff. If, a bayonet charge going in on the line. France may have overextended their push here. I see Cav pushing up. These guys can form square right there, but France is going to counterattack here. Charge against some Cav. These are Chasseurs Cheval. Is France going to... Oh, France should not have done that. They're getting shot in the face. Getting shot in the face, and with so many infantry pushing up, France may actually be overextending themselves. But this is a huge push here, and France is actually really wavering and breaking here. Look at this backup supporting line. This is guard infantry, which is actually starting. So France has to shift over more forces on both sides here. And they're going to have to actually start counterattacking to relieve pressure on the center where they're breaking. Look at the artillery position, though, guys. Look at how beautiful this is. This artillery is able to fire directly over the heads of their troops and just destroy the French position here. They're just constantly focused down. The general even dismounted, probably because of the hot artillery and rifle fire. Spain is actually falling back in the center as France starts advancing because they are not as strong in this center. They had to shift some reserves over as France is starting to push for the town itself. They're going to have to push more of their guard infantry. These are grenadiers, I do believe. Yeah, some grenadiers at least for the town. Portuguese infantry definitely was well placed for being a reserve. The skirmishers are so close to the French line as France is going to start pushing up on this thin but actually not too weak Spanish line. This LOC may start to be really focused down by artillery. This whole position actually is may be turned into a disaster for the French. I see a nice, fat, long Portuguese line with reserves and a huge flank. Watch this flank turn out. If they get some Portuguese cav to push up here, maybe some Spanish cav, put some pressure on this artillery piece, they could drive them off and then swing around and encircle the Spanish army, or French army, sorry. This French army doesn't look that big. And actually, France is falling back from this LOC. They took some heavy losses. And that is why they're falling back on that side. France is not making any decisive push yet, guys. Still not making the super good, juicy push with the bayonet charge that you'd like to see. We have a bayonet charge here. Sappers charging it. They should go for this infantry instead. Look at these guys. They're like, oh, guys, we're going this way. They're like, guys, we're going to go that way. Never mind, we're going to go this way. France may actually be looking to get in some melee here. That's their best option, but the artillery is just focusing them down. They're going right into a hot pocket of a Spanish defense. Over here, you can see that actually the French are falling back wisely, getting out of there maybe in time. France getting driven back by this LOC. Spain definitely could still win this, guys. If they get really aggressive, they could start breaking the Spanish here. They just need to get into that melee, which Spain sucks at. Start routing a couple units and cause that mass rout. But so far, the Spanish lines are holding. They got still Cav in reserve. The general is here, ensuring his men hold. Look at him facing the enemy. France is very weak. I'm surprised the Spanish are going to try pushing out here and try flanking this small attack. Ooh, what is happening over here? We have some Cav maybe trying to save the French attack. Yeah, we have Lancers going against the Portuguese, charging the line here. This actually is going to hurt the Portuguese, but they are going to get outflanked here. They're going to break this Portuguese Cav, but they'll get outflanked. So sacrifices are going to be made. Spain still looking a little wavering in the center here. But, I mean, France doesn't appear to have a whole lot of reserves. We do maybe have a incursion of Dragoons from France who are going to charge in.
Our men are running, sir.
Remember, there's some stakes. If they run back... Oh, form a square, and it's beautiful. Okay, so the Portuguese... Not the Portuguese, the Spanish are trying to hold a thinner line as France is trying to push up pressure that side. Spain just has to hold now the second assault here. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. They're going to break these Spanish Dragoons. Or French Dragoons, sorry. They tried charging through. Oh, they're even getting hit by some spikes. They're desperately trying to drive back this artillery piece. Because that French cav ran right through those skirmishers and tried to go for this artillery piece. Oh, they retook it. France is getting pushed back, guys. They have some reserves here, but they are getting pushed back. The line being held beautifully. And France is actually pushing up with light infantry too. Unfortunately, that artillery piece did break. But it probably did more damage, you know. They made the French lose 2 of their cav units, so, you know, not too bad. And the French are no closer to attacking and taking this hill than they were before. We still got plenty of line infantry for reinforcing this side. We have some cav possibly shifting up here. Yes, we do. We have a cav charge.
Our men are running, sir.
Those Dragoons, along with some line infantry possibly. This could be the charge. This is where France should be bayonet charging. They should be pushing forward masses right here. Some assault columns, you know. Push up here. We do have France still trying to push this side. The Portuguese can be way more aggressive now. They have a huge army. They can be pushing up here. But they are going to charge up. This is where France is going to start trying to excel here, using their cav and infantry to try pushing the Spanish line. Along the entire board here, you can see France getting close. They need to start bayonet charging right now. A counter charge of Spanish cav going in, trying to keep the French from being able to push up. I don't know why the French aren't bayonet charging the Spanish here, but with them starting to break, if you just pushed up a couple of infantry right here, France should have had some infantry pushed up as well. You just start pushing and start tearing down the flank each side. They're standing here in front of the Spanish, and the Spanish are able to volley them, and it is causing huge morale issues. As France, you have to go in with the cold steel. see over here, that's what they're doing. Now, of course, Spain has reserves that are firing at them in the back. I think they may have charged in a little too late after losing most of their army. But France did break a lot of Spanish here in the center, which maybe they're gonna push through here. This French cav is gonna have to deal with the Spanish countercharge, as this Spanish cav may have saved this whole flank from just caving and France pushing up and flanking. As you see, the Spanish line has held and pushed back the French. In fact, I think France may be done. Yeah, I think France is done. France has broken. That was a last-ditch effort. And Spain had to hold. They kind of didn't over here, but they did along this whole side, which is good. They're able to shift reinforcements over to hold this side. What a fight there, man. France is regrouping here with their line infantry. Look at the carnage here. What a last desperate defense the Spanish had. These guys are probably tired. Yeah. Ooh, they're trying to kill the French general. Oh, there he is. There's the French general. But now the Portuguese have a very good opportunity to break this French army. I think the French have realized they have to attack, even though honestly this is going to be a failed attack, I suspect. They are heavily outnumbered here. With this artillery just punched through. You look at the mini-map, the red is in 2 spots instead of all along, and the blue is just held. Ooh, that artillery shot missed. Holding that hill was just the most beautiful thing you ever seen. France has some units here that they probably had over here, and they realized they need to reinforce this side if they want to push. I mean, Spain is massively hurt. If France has one more army over here, they could still do some damage. But France is already breaking the center, and Spain is already counterattacking. So any French units that are left are going to have to start trying to defend this side while they push up on the Portuguese. You're not going to win, though, as France just sitting here firing back and forth with the Portuguese army. It's too big. They have artillery support too, so. And reserves, might I mention. Tons of reserves here. I don't know if France is planning on trying to relocate so that they can push up and help on this center area. But France is definitely still probably pretty strong here. You can see France has a very good defense. Spain, very weak. These guys are shaken and exhausted. If France were to try pushing here, they probably would break through. We got some French cav trying to go around the back. Some chasseurs cheval. Oh. Oh gosh, that is laggy.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
Oh my goodness, what a lucky shot. One of 2 men that died. What a lucky shot there. I don't know if that's the general or not, but France is going to start losing here. I think this is, like I said, the beginning of the end. We do have Spanish counterattacking, going through this orchard now themselves. France trying to relocate their generals right there. Artillery in risk of getting flanked, as there's one unit here trying to defend now. What a fight, though. For the longest time, that was intense. I think the French weren't aggressive enough in this area, especially. They needed to get in. The one thing I learned with playing a lot more French than I have the coalition, in order to win, you can't stand and shoot, usually. You will lose. Over time, you will lose. Just usually. I mean, sometimes not. Sometimes you can outshoot them, but the Spanish are just such a massive amount of troops. You'll see at the very end, I'm sure they have more troops than the French do. Oh, do we have some cav here? Some infantry preparing some
The men are fatigued, sir.
some militia-looking infantry. Are they gonna fire in time? These dragoons with the infantry to brace the attack are gonna do just fine. Yeah, they'll do just fine. Portuguese are getting surrounded here, or not the Portuguese, the French are getting surrounded here by the Portuguese and French, or in Spanish. Man, I got my factions all mixed up today, don't I? Oh, the general. Francisco. Vengas, get yourself out of there. Yeah, the cav is starting to harass the French flank. France doesn't have a lot they can do. And the sides start peeling down. Look at this French force right here, though. I mean, France was not consolidated. I feel like they were spread out way too much, especially on this side. They were not held together. On this side, it was one army and then one army way over here. France could have had a small diversion right here, and the rest could have pushed up, done some assault columns, and smashed through, I think, over here. Maybe that would have worked. I don't know. I like consolidating with my allies versus everybody has their position in the field. Look at these guys. And these guys are falling apart very fast. Artillery crews even starting to lose very rapidly. Over here, France desperately trying to hold here. Spain is very predominantly here on both flank and the center. Not sure if France just isn't paying attention right there, but we got some cav now charging through. I mean, this is actually a good attack here, with the cav charging in the back and infantry, although Voltigeurs probably isn't what you want to use. But this is all or nothing for this French flank, although you can see they're breaking a lot of Spanish. You can see how well the melee of France goes up against the Spanish forces. There we go, that French army's gone. But you can see, I mean, France starting to lose here, but they started really breaking a lot of the Spanish. But they, of course, are getting shot in the flanks, so they're not going to hold very well. Cav trying their best to hold back the Spanish attack. We have some French units possibly going in for melee charge. We have Grenadiers charging in here, getting that beautiful charge bonus. Oh wow, we have one Spanish, like I said, the French were very scattered on this side, and I think that is what hurt them. They don't have as many troops usually as the Spanish do. That's gonna hurt you a lot more than not. What do we have right here? I mean, they look very nice. These Grenadiers helping drive back the last of the French. We may have a general going in here. See a couple line infantry units here. I don't know where these guys are shooting, but they are going to start melting. As this is the last, like I said, the last little holdout here of the French. And what a good decision by the Spanish to fall back. I mean, this is a beautiful position to hold. Look at this hill. Like, if you just hold around the base of this hill, put your artillery up on the hill, you can't go wrong. And a French could have could have carried it. Like I said, if they consolidated in one area, the French were not totally sure, like, where to attack, I think, and the Spanish had a defense ranging along the entire line. Like, so the Portuguese didn't even do that much. They just kind of waited, and the French could have relocated, I think, and got away with it for a little bit. They usually have a faster army than the Spanish and Portuguese, so they can mobilize. You got to use that speed to your advantage.
Our
And
men are
strike
running, sir.
fast. Oh, do we have a cav charge here? Yes, we do. Oh my goodness, they're slicing through that regiment. Look how much they sliced it up. Oh, that's rough. These poor guys, they just got slaughtered there by the cav. We got more grenadiers pushing up, possibly going to try to go for another flanking charge. Oh, yes. I'm going to fast forward at this point. I think there's only one or two French units. They're just kind of in a big circle, and they're just getting surrounded here. We possibly had one more unit down the back. Pushing up to face their demise, starting to walk over the dead bodies of, you know, their and enemy cav and infantry. It's kind of a demoralizing thing, you know. Go to your death, basically. Do we have a couple French units here, too? We have a general and, like, one line infantry unit here. I'm assuming the French are going to charge in their gen. I mean, it's dead already. You know, just charge them in. One glorious last stand. I think there's only one unit left over on this side. They're probably going to break rather fast. So, yeah. I love this map, actually. I would love to play this map. Whether or not I play with historical units or not, I think it'd be still a lot of fun. So, I may have to try it in a stream on Saturday. In the near future. Maybe not this one, but maybe the next one. So let's see, the general is going to charge in. Yep, and that should almost be the battle. There's a couple French units in the back still. Yeah, the Portuguese just need to turn around and face them, and it'll be over. Notice them. But yeah, guys, if you have any replays that were really good, really close, usually a good time limit is like 40 minutes. A 40-minute replay is a really good, I think, good long replay. It's not, you know, too long, too short. Prefer, like, I don't do ones where people drop usually. So, but anyway, guys, that is the fight. As you can see, actually, yeah, the Spanish brought way bigger armies. You see 24, 20, 18, and 19 versus 16, 20, 13, and 18. So, and you can see with the kills here, 16, 1,000, 700, 700, 900, 600, 400, 800. So definitely the Spanish were king on this field today. However, they did inflict some heavy casualties on the Spanish. You can see over 50% casualties for most of these armies. So that's about it today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me, and special thanks once again to Fran CC playing as Vengas 9-pointer. So thank you for that replay. If you, like I said before, guys, if you had replays, feel free to message me on Discord or post them in my Discord. I'd love to look at them and try to do them. Of course, you know, I'm sorry if it takes a while to do some of your replays, or if I miss some, I get a lot sometimes sent to me. So I try to remember all the ones I've been sent and put them all in a folder. So, yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.